Hello,
Cheers,
everyone,
Hero.
and welcome to the night shift. I have the wonderful Kips. Thank you for joining us right at the buzzer. Perfect. I have Verky CPK. And
Hello.
Of course, I'm Moxie. We have, of course, the OD Pigsel that is not here with us, but always here in spirit.
Pig spirit.
Pig spirit, right, right. It's a new year, right? You go through a lot of transformations, you know?
Sure.
I'm not sure this is the transformation he wanted to make.
Yeah, you know, you never know. You never know. But we do have some very exciting NA Dota for you tonight. So glad that you're here with us. We've got, I believe it's the second game
The second game, yes.
of Forward Gaming versus TeamTeam.
Yep. Forward Gaming took the first game. I was just kind of recapping it before we came on, of course. They, behind Resolution, playing a Lone Druid, a Bear build, it looked like, and a CK offlane in the hands of Universe. So a couple of interesting notes about that match, but overall about a 30-minute victory. It seemed like a fairly, not one-sided, but a decisive victory.
Okay, all right. Do we think that TeamTeam can make this? Do you think they're going to be able to turn it into a 3-game series, or are we going to see just a stomp?
Well, hopefully not a stomp, but I think I said it yesterday as well. I expect Forward to take this series fairly convincingly, and then they'll run into the real resistance later on, I think.
Right, right. All right,
So,
well, we do have some pieces up here on the board. I believe Elder Titan's on your side.
Yes, he is. That was a pretty nice slide.
Sound effects. Actually, Chorus Fen we have been seeing
Yeah.
more and more of, haven't we? So
Yes, we have.
I'll put it off lane for now, but it's potential to be the position 1.
I need to...
We're warming up.
Come on, guys.
Swinging
You've
it,
had,
yeah.
you've
We're
had
warming
all
up still.
week to do
It's
this.
okay.
You should be pros at this
Just
point.
gotta-
They should
And
be
then
able to
shake
do
it
a
out.
flip
Stroke.
when you drop them on the table.
I mean,
5 seconds remaining.
how would that even...
Yeah, that's because you'd be so good at it,
Need
Breaky, all
practice,
right?
I guess.
Let's just say. But we do get a Grimstroke pickup over here for Forward Gaming, so double Stormhammers, double the fun.
Dire team
Yeah,
back.
it's already got the good synergy there.
Oh, and there's that Darkseer for Barak, so we're going to see that probably just AFK farming and pulling lanes and typical Darkseer stuff.
Yeah, probably going to end up solo, but again, we'll keep it like this for now. I don't know what these are doing here. These
Yeah, they combined with the Elder Titan pickup, you can still go behind the tower as 2 and mess with a possible dual lane there as well.
10 seconds remaining.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah, it allows them the flexibility to switch it out into getting just the Darkseer if it's a tri lane there, or to do the dual lane thing if the enemy wants to go for dual lanes as well.
yeah. Go back to if they're thinking about a Chorus Fan, Darkseer already is a hero that actually Grimstock should be on the other side. By the way, I just realized that should be over here, the Radiant. Darkseer already pretty good against Sven with the Surge specifically. Again, any kind of kite ability that helps heroes get away from Sven is going to be useful. So that would be already one pretty big deterrent, in my opinion, to try to stay away from a Darkseer, but we'll come to find out as they ban Doom. That's a hero that's been in that matchup against Darkseer specifically quite a bit.
5 seconds remaining.
Yep, very classic trading farm kind of hero over there. I also think they're not very scared of the Elder Titan, of the Oracle pickup this time, because there's already a Grimstroke on Forward Gaming. I don't think a Grimstroke Oracle support duo is going to really do very much for you.
Yeah. Probably not.
We did see, and again, this didn't end up working out for them, but we saw that, I think it was S4 was playing a Sand King as kind of an option to mess with that Darkseer, but again, I don't
Yeah,
think that's
that
the
didn't
best
quite work
choice
out.
just because, laning phase went really well for him, but then kind of dropped off later on, so.
What about Clockwork? You sure kind of reminded me of that. Well, that's a hero.
That is a hero.
On the list
Is it?
still.
The new battery assault is fun. It's
New
a lot
battery
of fun,
assault's
but I don't
pretty good.
know. We haven't seen it, and I don't think we've seen it in any of the matches that we've cast so far yet.
No,
Maybe one. I think I remember maybe one.
I think we had one. Wasn't it Schofield?
Clockwork.
You
Oh,
hyped
yes, it
it
was
up. Yeah.
Schofield. Yeah, he's a very good Clockwork.
Yeah. Against Darkseer, I mean, Cog Block is pretty good against that idea. But overall, yeah, no, it's not really the most relevant hero right now. So,
And especially not if you're going to see this farm
10
trading
seconds
lane.
remaining.
yeah.
So, Ursa out, Doom
5
out.
seconds remaining.
I mean, J-Storm had a lot of success with running the Necrophos
They did.
into
yeah.
the Darkseer, into something like a lane like that. I'm not sure if he could do it with the Darkseer as well, but against the Doom at least, he does very well at these trading lanes where you just have to sustain the last hit the creeps under your tower.
Well, there's the Life Stealer. That's also a decent hero here, especially when facing off. Again, the Darks here are going to be just pulling waves the entire time for the most part. But does have his own method of sustain, which is pretty handy, and has seen a resurgence of popularity lately just because of the fact
That's not very neat.
Yeah.
10 seconds
There we
remaining.
go. Got the right angle.
See? Perfect. It's all about how you look at it, right?
Productive
Just
stuff.
like life.
5 seconds remaining.
Very wise,
It's all about
Moxie.
the angles.
I would give Lifestealer as kind of the most effective core, just consistent core that we've seen this event, honestly, especially in a surprise factor almost. Not surprise, but just more so the newer one. And it's at the cost of maybe Terrorblade dying down a little bit. So
I'm totally okay with
two
that.
thumbs up for
I'm
me.
done with Mr. Blade there.
And this is a hero that I started to expect more and more as the Life Stealer was getting picked more, because you've got a way to keep him off of you with the with the sleep if he's not enraged yet, and if he is, you can always just grip him
5
straight through.
seconds remaining.
And Feeble used to also be a great way to mess with him in lane. Now perhaps a little bit less so. But
That's
still,
a nice kit for dealing with Lifestealer for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. South Americans are very, very happy right now because that is something you see a ton of over in that region. But yeah, so we, Lifestealer seeing a resurgence. The big thing that's kind of interesting to me, okay, it is actually banned, good, because we've been seeing a ton of Tiny. And it seems like teams that have Tiny tend to be the teams that are going to be winning early on with the pressure that they're allowed to put on the map, the fact that you can't go anywhere near any of these heroes, any of these towers, because they're just going to get the toss back. So
yeah, it's been fun to watch.
I think we said he's the most picked hero in this patch.
Yeah,
so far.
and overall, out of all the regions combined, he is the most picked in just by like 10 games or something like that. So clearly a very popular hero, and again, for good reason. Diversity mixed with strong tool set.
Now, they still need an offlaner on the side of forward gaming, and I know, according to the Kips flowchart, when is a good time to pick Beastmaster, Kips?
always.
If you need a hero, Beastmaster is always a good option. Yeah. Now, with that in mind, we haven't been seeing as much Beastmaster as maybe hyped up to be, so curious about that. But yeah, no reason why Beastmaster wouldn't feel good here necessarily. I don't know. I guess in the 1v1 against Darkseer, is he not as
Dire team
strong as these others? As it is going to be an Oracle,
Took up for the
so
Oracle.
so yeah, I was
Okay.
going to bring that. The Universe Sven is also something we can't overlook either,
That's
and
true.
we'll probably end up seeing that now.
Well, I wasn't sure with before the Oracle got picked
Yeah.
up. Sometimes you see the Sven still be running.
No,
against the...
I would have assumed a support for sure until that. Sven is a good, and if you're going to run him in the offlane, he definitely will get that Blink Dagger that much quicker, which
10 seconds
creates the
remaining.
vehicle for Lifestealer, so perhaps that's what they really want to get out of it. And then, yeah, Oracle, again, happens to be great against Darkseer, specifically in the laning phase and just all throughout, so I can see what they're thinking there.
Yeah, and I think that if you want to run the dual lanes now, you move the Grimstroke back over to the Sven. And I am honestly not sure how a Oracle Grimstroke Lifestealer tri-lane would work out.
Sounds a little
We're gonna
odd,
find
yeah.
out if it happens for sure.
But I'm thinking that, the Oracle is going to move where the Darkseer is going to move. So
Yeah.
And the Lifestealer in that regard, he doesn't really care if his support leaves him for a little bit. He'll be fine. He's got a lot of natural sustains, got a good natural escape with the Enrage, so
With the Elder Titan pickup, do you think they're gonna do something like an aggro try coming out from TeamTeam?
could be. It's like I enjoy the Bane as a setup for the Elder Titan as well. There's at least a Luna is still left over, so you have a strong possible tri-lane hero there.
Can we go for more play?
Morphling, okay. Which is they're going to have to double pick here, and Morphling is one of those heroes that can go both mid and safe lane.
A nice mix, too, of magic and physical damage, and whenever you have an Elder Titan, I always like to see that, because, of course, as Natural Order, you can get benefit from both, whether it's a Spirit nearby or the Elder Titan himself. You'll be able to get some amp damage of sorts, so I think that's a nice mix for that. Decent in the Lifestealer matchup as well. Not really worried about Lifestealer sitting on top of him, of course, so...
Yeah, Lifestealer is going to have he deals a lot of burst damage, of course, but he's still going to have a hard time actually chewing through the Morphling, especially if he's not a lot ahead.
Yeah.
Final picks coming out there. I do see the Puck's been banned out. That's a choice there.
Almost interesting forward bans the Puck, because again, it's great Lifestealer vehicle, as we've seen several times before now, and seems like could be pretty good in this matchup, but
I mean, you don't want to get dream coiled and have all of Elder Titan's loveliness dropped on you as well as the Darkseer.
Yeah.
Right? It does make sense that they wouldn't want to see that. So depending on what they're picking up in the mid lane too, you know, want to have a good matchup. There is, okay, no, never mind, I lied. I was going to say there's an OD left, but that was very early on that he got banned,
No.
which is smart. Good for
Yeah.
you for gaming. Don't let that person in there.
Well, that's where my mind went too, and so I think that's fair because yeah, you ban the puck and maybe it opens up for that OD, and he's not as concerned on the matchup. But yeah, again, they banned it earlier on.
Okay.
That's the hero that I was going to say that I would look for forward to in the lineup of forward.
Ooh.
And Queen of Pain once again. We saw Sumail play on this yesterday.
Yes, we did. And we saw him have a terrible time in lane because they sent over, I believe it was the Lich, right, to go
Yes,
and
he was getting
babysit.
dual laned.
Yeah.
That was rough. But again, it's Sumail. He recovers quite well, and that left Artur a lot of space.
Yep.
Yeah, that game was one of those EG games where they relied a lot less on Sumail than maybe they usually do, and of course it still wasn't a winning effort. But Queen of Pain is a hero. With that in mind, I don't know
Is
if
a hero.
I'm sold on. I don't know if I'm sold on just yet. So we'll see how it works out here for TeamTeam though. And so that's gonna be on this side, yeah.
And once you quap, the fun don't stop.
Yep. And I'm guessing it's going to be a tri lane for TeamTeam then. And they're going to try to dodge with the Darkseer as much as possible. See if they can avoid this Oracle.
Good for kiting this Lifestealer, too. What do we see? What's the final pickup then for forward gaming?
Well, before I was like, alright, you're going to want some burst into the Morphling most likely. Some extra disable wouldn't be bad. Someone who can hit towers, because this is most definitely, okay, not the most burst damage, but very sustainable and, of course, great at sieging towers.
This is some tanky heroes coming out the side of forward gaming.
I was thinking DK, the one thing with that though is again in the matchup, Queen of Pain, fair amount of magic damage, so doesn't really worry about the armor of DK with that Dragon Blood necessarily, but the regen plus a couple of bracers early on, DK is going to be fine actually. In that, so yeah, not necessarily burst damage as you're pointing out, but again, yet another possible vehicle for Lifestealer, and one that gives him objective pushing, because if there is a weakness of Lifestealer, you know, he's not the greatest at hitting buildings himself, so
All
that's
right,
a good answer.
prediction time. What are we thinking here? Let's start with Kips this time, because I've been leaving you for last usually.
It was appreciated, but alright. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think forward gaming should have this game on quality. I'm interested in this TeamTeam draft with going the Oracle anyway after picking Grimstroke. I just don't quite see how it's all supposed to come together in the end. So yeah, forward for me.
Forward gaming for you. What about you, Mr. Breaky?
Yeah, I think that the DK pick, again, a little bit back and forth on it when it was first picked up, but now that I've really sat on it a little bit, I think it's actually going to be really strong this game. And then we've had so much success with Lifestealer specifically, so leaning towards forward.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with forward here too, looking at their draft and also knowing the quality of players. And, you know, it's always fun when we get to see some of these different heroes. Like getting the quad pickup is super fun, but I'm feeling very much like they're going to be going forward.
Awkward silence.
She went there.
I love
She
it.
went there.
I should be writing these terrible jokes in between the breaks, yeah?
That was up there on the list. That was
Yeah?
a pretty good one, actually.
All right,
compared,
all
yeah.
right.
And of course, production.
Always have to be the contrarian, but they believe in TeamTeam, so.
They just want a game 3, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
More ready for. In fact, Europe though is all 2-0s.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's a bit of a stomp.
Yeah, European region going pretty quick there. NA's here to take over that. That's fine.
Alrighty, well, let's get into this draft. See if they're going to go for that. No, they're not going to do anything with the aggro. They've actually got the Morphling there in the top lane.
Morphling in an aggro lane is a very big risk. It's if you're extremely confident on that hero, you can definitely do it. Like it can be extremely strong in lane, but it's such a all or nothing kind of hero.
30 seconds to battle.
So right now, Darkseer is that?
Like they're both
Yeah, it is
dancing with each
Darkseer
other.
setting up down here and bouncing back and forth the pig, but.
And he's already found his favorite Oracle friend who's going to be purging all of his nice buffs.
Yeah, Fortune's End's already picked up. Usually you'll see, you know, players holding on points this early on, but he knows he's getting that. That's why they picked up the hero.
So I'm interested now, is Nusham going to stay down here? What's the the play with these lanes. Oh, Sammy
Nice
Boy
kill.
in for a little trouble here. Is gonna try to run himself away. Just very slowly getting love tapped here by Universe.
He actually has to be careful if a second stroke of fate lands.
He's dodging.
He's all right. He's all right.
He's ready. No, he's good.
He's in the trees.
That was Queen of Pain when it got their rune, though, so it's actually a 3-for-1 start for TeamTeam. When it comes to the bounty runes.
Not bad at all.
It will be Yuar, of course, on the DK in mid, and that means Resolution on Lifestealer.
Okay, so they actually they noosh him down here, and I'm wondering if they want to try to block that camp over on the side, right? Because of the fact that he can just stack it for himself and just get all that bonus damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because in this case you can also definitely, well, with the Darkseer not being able to overextend himself as much as he normally does, like just surge out, you probably feel pretty safe as SVG pulling the camp, because that means that drawing the Darkseer out could actually net you kills on him if you'd like to.
Yeah, that to me is what we're seeing here. They're leaving the Elder Titan down here because of that Oracle matchup. And so basically this is them saying, you know, we picked up Darkseer to have a very good laning phase with the Iron Shell. Well, they picked one of the few counters to it. So let's just kind of go back to our normal lane setup of a 2-1-2 instead. Give him that partner. And you saw right there, he used the Fortune's End to purge off one of the Iron Shells on Elder Titan, but Darkseer has been running around with this other creep wave trying to prevent him from getting in range. He is eventually going to right there, but it's going to continue to be this mind game. He pops right back on himself. Fortune's End cooldown. It's what, like 14 seconds or something like that, so it's not going to be back up yet. Elder Titan, they're going to go for a turn kill.
No, it's the first blood actually being drawn by Brax, so maybe not the, you know, again, we talk about how the Oracle is, of course, the counter to a Darkseer, but when there's another friend there, it makes things a little bit more difficult.
I think it's also a miscalculation by the Oracle there. I think he might have expected the creeps to do way more damage to the Darkseer than they did.
That is possible. I just love how no one's playing in the lane right now here at the bottom right. Rezo is fighting Elder Titan.
Rezo has been in the lane. He's 10-2.
And looks like top lane. Can they find this final hit over here? They're not going to be able to find it. Sammy Boy is getting body blocked here. He's trying to move himself away. He's taking some damage for sure. Stroke of Fate coming through.
This is have another mango. He does not.
Two more.
Nah, he's all right.
A close call, but it is proven to be a little difficult at that top lane for Morphlin, of course. But yeah, this bottom lane, I think it's fair to say, Darkseer, considering they picked this Oracle as a somewhat counter to the hero, it's not necessarily accomplishing like they hoped for. It's more of TeamTeam's appropriately responding to it, just constantly pulling the creep wave. See, they have a double wave pull right here, so this is a little interesting.
I mean, when Darkseers get left alone, we've seen them pull these creeps into the jungle, get everything over, and instead right now it is Rezo who's doing the best.
Yeah.
So while they haven't exactly completely countered to Darkseer, I would say that Forward is getting as much out of this lane as they could possibly want to get.
They need to not be sitting this low, though. That's just giving Rezo an easy kill.
Yes, and this is what I was talking about with, you know, I think they don't want to block the pull because they want to be able to clash over here.
Right.
And Hannah Midas is going to be coming online very quickly for Mr. Lifestealer in this game.
Yes. And meanwhile, Yuar doing well in his mid lane. The Breathe Fire helps so much against the Quap. Just being able to, like, make sure she has a hard time last hitting. And yeah, the DK sustains through all of the harass that she's able to pull out. So fairly even lane there. And then on top lane, of course, Sammy Boy suffering against the pressure of this Sven Grimstroke. And this is a strong lane. Lots of harass and long range.
Now, we talked about this, right? Because usually, just hold that thought for 1 second. But no, this is a lane that is very scary because you can just go and you can put that Inkswell on top of your Sven. Your Sven goes for a Stormhammer, follows up with the Inkswell, and usually, you know, depending on the hero that you're up against, it results in a kill.
Yeah. It's a kill lane for sure, similar to like a Centaur, as well as a Grimstroke. You know, as you mentioned, just run in there and even though they're not getting the kill every time, of course, they haven't got one yet, but they're applying so much pressure to the point where Morphling having to sit back, just constantly regen, not getting a CS in, and the fact that he's behind in CS by a fair amount against the Sven, for that matter, let alone anyone else in this game on as far as the other cores in the other team, it's again, it's going to be a tough hill to climb up here for TeamTeam early.
Yeah, really nice setup too. Again with that Stormhammer into the Stroke of Fate.
I think at some point they gotta concede and bring Nusham up there. Because, like, of course, they've gotten 2 Oracle kills down here right now, but I'm not sure if that's worth the huge amount of distance that Resolution is getting on the Morphling right now. Rezo is so far ahead.
Yeah. Elder Titan had plus 105 damage right there. That's how he killed the Oracle.
Oh boy. All right. Gonna maybe turn this around. Rezo trying to run himself back. Couple of big punches. Needs maybe 1 or 2 more. He's taking this tower. Gonna try to bite. Oh, but at the last second, they'll be able to take down Yushan. They get the kill on Rezo. They're gonna get a kill on Brax. And the only person alive now is SVG in that bottom lane.
All right. Well, I'm guessing Rezo felt strong. It's a bit of a unnecessary risk in my opinion. But 2 kills, good for the Oracle to catch back up a little bit. And yeah, Yoar, being slightly ahead in experience here, already has his level 6. And with that, 5-minute catapult's gonna lay some pressure into the mid tower.
Echo Sound coming out. Connect. He's trying to clear up this creep wave here. Yusham is gonna give a couple punches over here to Yoar. And needs to be careful again. Yeah, because they're gonna be able to turn it around. Dragon Tail, Inkswell, Phantom's Embrace. Trying to run into this pit, hoping maybe Mr. Roshan will help him out, but nope, not going to be able to do it. In jumps Quap, and not going to be able to quite find that kill with the Sonic Wave.
It's kind of the funky thing about that Sonic Wave change. It's the idea that it now pushes back. I mean, it's slow and everything. It can be good for, you know, securing a kill, but at the same time, it can be almost anti-synergy at some points. I'm not saying that saved the DK there, but kind of going back to the Quap and not seeing her a whole lot, a little bit here and there now, but...
They had the Phantom's Embrace on her too, so she wasn't like she was going to be able to hit off any more spells after that, which I'm sure caused a little wrinkle in her plan.
There is definitely an opportunity there for quad players to, you know, jump behind
and
teams
push them back,
and push them back, but that's a big risk, and with the quad you usually don't want to jump in all the way forward like that. It's extremely risky. Then again, when well executed, that's just an extra powerful addition to your ability.
So they've actually rotated the Oracle up to the top lane now. And just left Rezo here to square off with the Darkseer and the Elder Titan. But it feels like they're posturing a little bit on that top lane. Maybe trying to make something happen, trying to keep the pressure off Rezo, who's having, again, a very nice time in that lane.
Yeah, he's just free farming at his tower. If they're going to just continue to pull, this is them saying, you know what, we'll let you get your farm now, but yeah, top lane Bane.
Yeah, IX Mike, and for some trouble, Phantom's Embrace slowing him down. They managed to land the Inkswell, turn around, put out that Nightmare. In comes Sammy Boy. And again, have their eyes over here onto the Grimstroke. We'll take that Nightmare off. The Purge comes through. There's going to be the War Cry coming out. IX Mike's in for a lot of trouble now. Stormhammer coming up, and 3 heroes just wailing away on him. Will be able to take him out. Sammy Boy now also on the run. They have the Fortune's End, gonna be able to root him into place, but with that waveform, at least he's on the high ground.
Yeah, keep him out of the lane though.
Yeah.
It's just more of that.
Invis Rune over here on the Quap. She's on the hunt. We'll find SVG. Not sure if Roya wants to go for this yet. Shadow Strike opening up with the Scream. Nice
Purge. That was a very quick reaction with the False Prompt, or the Fortune's End. And doesn't have Fate's Edict yet, but yeah, it doesn't matter there. No, not needed for the Magic community in that case. But Quap using the Invis, hoping at least for 1 kill. It wasn't like going to be the biggest kill, but just getting something out of it. Doesn't get that though. And Forward Gaming, it's now a 3,000 net worth lead. You have Sven. Go back to him. He's going to have a Vlad's and a decent timing. You just see the pressure he keeps applying to Morphling. Meanwhile, you know what's the recovery plan here? You think for TeamTeam?
This Quap's gonna have to put in a lot of work. They're going to lose some towers to DK for sure, and I guess I want to see them do a couple of smart defenses, really pick their fights. They have good counter initiation. They have an Elder Titan, they've got the Darkseer, and yeah, this Morphling is going to need a lot of time to come back into the game. So I don't think they can play forward with how behind they are. They only really have a Darkseer, so it's going to have to be defensive opportunities and make sure that they can take a tower trade here and there. So for example, with the Radiant now grouping up on the top tower, you kind of need to already have been in place for this and try and see if you can take down the bottom tower instead. But Resolution is still down here. He's not going to down. Yeah, he's not going to go down easily, and forward is always going to defend him. If there's some kind of position 4 or 5 on that tower, you know, getting some levels, then they would probably just leave him and ditch the tower, but no.
Yeah, he's gonna have
The
to
raid
rage.
comes out. He's gonna try to go for that rune. It's gonna be Brax who picks it up. But there are 3 heroes down here. And I do not want to fight off with this lifestealer, not at this time.
Yeah, Forward got a couple of the bounty runes at the top lane meanwhile, but
Got the tower too.
good job. And yeah, oh yeah, that top tower going down. You have a dragon form from Yuar. He's queued up the blink, so he wants to, again, be that vehicle for the lifestealer. Earlier on, at least, as Smoke Gank coming out.
They're trying to do whatever they can right now. This is not feeling good for Sammy Boy. Push the envelope here, maybe get some sort of Kerfuffle going. There'll be more space for the Morphling to farm.
Yeah, Dragon Knight's in the jungle now. He clearly picked up on something here.
The body block coming up from Roya here in the mid lane. Keep that Cardi going. They're taking the tier 2 though top. That is very feels bad man right now.
I think that's the most telling that they're trying something. You're pushing a tier 2 like that this early
No one
on.
there.
No one's defending it.
Do they have level 6 on the bane yet?
I don't believe.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
they do.
no, they do. Yeah,
I do. All right.
just picked it up. That's very, very important to lock Rezo down.
So they do have a tool to deal with the lifestealer, but with the speed that Yoar is going to have this blink dagger, the amount of farm that Rezo is going to have on top of that, they're for sure they're going to focus down the bane.
Nice canceling there of that Echo Stomp.
They're committed to this. They're keeping the catapult alive. They're definitely taking the tower as much as they can. Yep, it's going to start hitting you. I see right there, it takes the aggro. There's fortification.
Yeah, they want this tower. They know that they, oh, the denial does come out though. Nicely done by Nusha. In comes MSS. He does have the Inkswell on him. Phantom's Embrace followed up with the Stormhammer, Stroke of Fate, and a big ol' Purifying Flames in the last hit. Coming out from the Sven.
Yeah, one of those cases, like, is it really worth it? I mean, Tower Deny is solid, I suppose, but no chance he's getting out of that one. That was well played by Forward to make him commit that way. Now, bottom
the
lane.
Fiend script, though, coming through. Sammy Boy's hoping to get himself a kill. Farming has been a bit difficult for him, so he does find himself that kill on Lifestealer in the bottom lane. So that's the Fiend script being used for the first time to take down Rezo there.
That means they do get the tower trade now, but their mid tier 1 has gone down in the meanwhile.
They're losing real estate very quickly on the side of the Dire.
Yoar can now pick up his blink dagger if you'd like, or maybe if he thinks about going something a little bit more punchy, he could go with the Shadow Blade as well.
Yeah, I don't know if he needs a blink yet, especially with the way this game's going. Lifestealer wants a Radiance first before he probably is going to get involved anyway, so he is going to go the blink still.
Yes, like one of the things that you do need to think about is that if that Lifestealer goes to Radiance and he's not going to be involved, it means your presence needs to be bigger now and in the direct future. So I don't think we're going to see him save up for any big item. He can either go to Blink or an SB, but nothing like...
Yeah, I was thinking like drums even, just kind of a different direction, drums, and then go in the blink after the fact. But
it's a blink. Like,
I feel like that
their
changes the
team-
tempo of the game a little bit, though, right? If they pick up the drum before going for the blink.
Yes, and I think their team has a little bit of a gap in the initiation right now. I mean, the Sven is going to probably be that aura builder for them.
yeah,
Oh, there goes IX Mike, trying to just get off a couple hits, but will get murdered in his own jungle.
yeah, he's already got the Vlads on Sven, so definitely committing towards that idea.
Yeah, they're just taking over the map right now. Like, no one is actually playing on any side of the Radiant currently. They're all just clumped up over here in this top jungle area, and bottom they're pushing a tower.
You actually have the Shadow Blade queued up on Sven as well. It's not your everyday item. See on that hero.
Just again, chipping away over here at the tower. They actually have a Crimson Guard completed. The jumping coming out from Yoya will be able to follow up with Stroke of Fate. Nightmare's going to get used over here onto the DK. They'll use the Earth Split. Oh, there it is, though. They've got the big... Oh, they're clipped! Oh, no! It looks like Yoar's in for some trouble here. It doesn't quite get enough healing to take advantage of that Oracle ulti. Wow, that was all right.
Well, that's one way to use Sonic Wave Push.
Yeah.
That was,
I don't think anyone was expecting that.
I've never seen it
Maybe
used that way. Yeah,
I like it.
Here I am talking a little bit of crap about the ability and the change, and
It's
he's
useful.
like, Ryoya's like, yeah, no, watch
It was
this.
looking so good with the false promise over on the DK,
Yeah.
but like you can't reach each other and you can't heal each other up. Doesn't really matter in the end.
To be fair, they were also just with 3 there, with the Sven not even being near.
I think this is going to be a dead Brax here. It's pretty fast, though. Surging himself up. Nice Echo Stomp will actually land on both of them. Universe still chasing after, has his eyes over on Ix. Mike will get purged off from that nightmare. And he's still, poor Brax, still trying to run himself to the shrine. Nusham saying, I've got it here for you, buddy, just hang on. Stroke of Fate coming through. They've also got that heal. Not able to purge that off fast enough, and he will just go zoom himself away. And they just break off from him. They don't all want to get rooted in the same place. But bottom lane is a little bit of a just farm fest between these two cores, and it doesn't feel good for Sammy Boy still. Starting to do a little bit of recovery, but definitely nowhere near what Rezo's got going on.
Yeah, he's still lowest on the cores list, which is not where you want your Morphling to be at all.
Man, I'm loving these stomps coming out from Nusham. They're just very, very well timed. They figure, all right, you know, you've got the Blink Dagger over on UR, you've got the fact he's going to have the Ink Swell. They'll turn around again, though, and they've got that Oracle ulti up and running. We're going to be able to heal them back up the back line, though. The Dark Series just attracting so much attention right now. There's going to be the Soulbind coming out, but everyone else is taking it out. There's not going to be anything double just yet. And that Earth Splitter taking out MSS. The rest of the team is just totally separated now from their DK. You are trying his best to just fight his way through. Stormhammer gets connect, but not on all of these heroes. And finally, Sammy Boy going to be able to take down UR.
Another defensive team fight for TeamTeam. They just bring all their heroes, use all their spells, and Forward seems to... I'm not sure if they're okay with taking these trades or perhaps underestimating the amount of effort that TeamTeam is willing to put in. And they have these teamfight items on the Darkseer. They can group up. So finally, Resolution joins, and
yeah, the Fiend's Grip coming out over onto Lifestealer. The best way to lock him down right now. Stroke of Fate does get thrown out, and there's going to be Sonic Wave, and they do manage to pop the Lifestealer. Stormhammer coming in just maybe a little bit too late there as they stun up Sammy Boy. And now Brax, he's on the hunt. Not going to be able to find anyone. Looks like he's just going to walk himself away.
That's a big deal. That Radiance is now going to be delayed that much more, and I mean, he's great net worth, but it really feels like that Forward is... They're overplaying their hand right now completely.
Yes, they did not want to lose that mid tower, their Roche axis. And Rezo joined, maybe he assumed that Fiend's Grip was down because of the previous fight. You see that a lot. People are like, all right, well, my team got hammered in the last fight. Probably all the spells are down, right? Always ask, because right now he teleports into a very awkward engagement. And that Radiance delay is a big deal.
Do you think that ward would have picked up on the tail end of that smoke?
In the mid? No pings came out.
They were pretty close to it, though. I don't know.
And something that
They're running away. Like, they're all hiding.
Yeah. Forward keeps engaging on this Darkseer, who by now is... Like, of course, he's going to be up in their face, but he's also the most tanky element. And you have these Blink Daggers, you have this engagement power. You need to try and kill somebody else, because how many times have they just been chasing Brax around? While Newsom was stomping, the Bane was getting all of the spells off.
They've got the Phantom's Embrace, and they're going to hold them in place over here. It's breaking out. Yule's coming out, though. We'll be able to buy a little bit more time here for Roya. They'll be able to get the Grimstroke ulti off, and holding two of these guys. It is Brax, and of course, Roya over there, Dragon's form, getting used. Ix Mike trying to run himself away, and Universe is split up from the rest of his team, but as is Nusham. Nusham trying to run himself away, duke himself through the trees. Rezo is just hot on pursuit. Should be able to find him, and he tries to go for the stomp. Not going to be able to get it.
Yeah, Nusham is doing a hell of a job, though, on Elder Titan, even with that death there. He's, as far as his Echo Stomps go, completely stalling and delaying things. We saw Dragonite also slept for most of that fight, so TeamTeam is definitely working on their coordination quite a bit and keeping people in check when it comes to these fights. They understand that they are behind in net worth right now, and so it's a way that they're, of course, combating that idea. But the Radiance for Lifesteal, I'm pretty sure it is finished now. This is where the game really starts to amp up if you're the Radiance. We haven't seen the Lifestealer bomb yet. Again, he's had the blink on a while now for DK, but now with the Radiance, I would think they're going to start looking for set opportunities as Queen obtains.
Why was Roya there?
I don't know. Really, was she going for a courier snipe or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, the courier's way over there.
Wave cutting, maybe? But this is going to be a mystery for the ages, I'm sure.
Well, it's why we have replays, right? We can go into them a bit later.
But a replay won't take you into a player's mind.
That's true. This is very true.
We do have player perspective, but yeah, when it comes to the mind.
No, there's still some mysteries in life that will never be answered.
Even with the power of replays.
Speaking of that, Flying Penguins versus Complexity later on today.
Oh, man.
We're going to be unraveling some mysteries there.
Oh, for sure, for sure. All right, had some breaks getting used over on ice. Mike, of course, Brack still standing nearby. Circle Fate will land, and need to be careful. There is a Sven sitting over there, and there's going to be that stomp we talked about. It's just such a dirty combo with either, you know, the Sven, you've got the DK too that's able to like blink in and just have that ink swell on them. It's immediately, you know, it should land every single time, get a great big old stun. And just the way that Newsham has been playing the Elder Titan though, just sitting far back, realizing at any moment his cores can be attacked. Having that Echo Stomp up and ready is just very, very smart.
I think that here, like, Sammy Boy's decision to go fight with his team for the past couple of team fights really worked out for him. You can see that he was support levels of net worth before. He's now caught up to the rest of his cores. But I'm not sure if he can continue that route because Resolution has by now definitely joined in the fights. And I think his team has to switch over to a way more protective 4v5 style again.
I don't know he's over there though. Again, following up with the Echo Stomp does connect over onto two heroes, and they're a little bit on the other side here. Sammy Boy actually going to be able to find himself to kill an SPG. There'll be none of that false promise this time around, and they're also going to find that. Oh no, being held right in the middle of everything. Rezo gonna get obliterated here. Universe trying to TP himself out. They've got the Echo Stomp though. They're gonna be able to cancel it out, and that's gonna be a triple kill going over to the side of Sammy Boy.
Team is outplaying Forward Gaming in this game.
Beautiful positioning there. They just let the Life Stealer go all the way in, then jump on his backline. Both of the supports that could save the Life Stealer if possible, immediately taken out of the fight. And then after that, they just Fiends grip him and he's done.
Well, going to that even a little more, the Queen of Pain, she cut off both the Oracle and the Grimstroke, and she used a Sonic Wave to destroy Oracle before you can think about a false promise. And Grimstroke got pushed on the ledge as well. Once again, a Morphling waveform didn't finish the job. And yeah, this is going to lead to a Roshan. I mean, they can't stop this. There's two dead still. They're going to try to harass a little bit, but this is definitely an Aegis for TeamTeam.
We haven't seen a single Infest Bomb yet, and they have itemized for this.
They don't need to, though. They don't need to do it.
They don't need to do it.
They don't need to Infest Bomb?
Well, no. I meant like some of the, because again, Rezo, like the way that the positioning's been going on lately in a lot of these fights is that you get the initiation coming out from, you know, the sometimes Sun, sometimes it's UR, obviously with the blink in, but like
they're not bursting anyone.
Well. Yeah, no. I was trying to explain. Forget it. Never mind.
Yeah, so
never mind.
The reason why I say it is because, you know, you have they're not bursting anyone, so they're walking in. You have this sort of this area that you control with your team, right? When you're walking in, and some of your heroes are going to be faster than others. Rezo is going to be the fastest, so he's going to move forward. And after a while, you stretch your positioning out enough that people can break through the middle, like the Quap did, like Breaky said before. So, but if you instantly jump and you have this group that catches up later, you're still very clustered, and you can actually, you know, take care of each other as opposed to this really like solitary play from Resolution right now.
Yeah, and it goes back again. Morphling as a core, one of the ways to take care of him is to have that heavy burst. So yeah, it goes back to that Infest Bomb idea. You need to kind of synergize as far as that, you know, with the Purifying Flames, etc., before he can start shifting over. I mean, you look right now, he just barely has over 1,000 life because he's in the Agi shift. So that's when you got to catch him. Granted, right now he also has an Aegis, so a little bit different. Wrapping around, that's a Surge Bane, but nope, they think better of it.
I mean, they've had some really nice positioning plays, though, when they are not facing them, you know, traditionally head-on, when they can get that wrap around, like you're saying.
Yes, and I think Forward's really got to be kicking themselves for not taking the earlier fights seriously enough, because if they play those tower sieges on the mid-tier 2 more carefully, they don't just go in basically blindly twice, then they don't lose all of that head start that they had, and Resolution wouldn't be having nearly as hard of a game right now as he is. But instead of, like, they could be at a point right now where they're finishing it up, right? They're wrapping up, pushing all of the towers, there's only 2 outers remaining, they would most likely be gone by now. But instead, because of especially giving the kills over to Sammy Boy, this is a much more even game than it should be. And we're nearing 25 minutes. TeamTeam has the late game advantage, 100%.
Something else to keep in mind, too, is that Enfeeble on Bane is, okay, he doesn't have any points in it yet, but got the
perfect target. They follow up with the wall. They'll have to rage through. This could be the air splitter. Just immediately, MSS is just evaporated. And they're hot on pursuit. The Surge coming up. Morphling changing himself over into that. We'll be able to use the false promise to keep him alive. But look, they just right on in. Right up. Did they do enough damage? Is he gonna pop?
I think.
No, he's got enough healing on him. And while this is going on, Universe trying to make some space. Actually manages to get the tower up here in this top lane.
Wow.
Universe single-handedly.
They needed that, right? Okay, we've got, still have some lifesteal on lifestealer action over here, but they managed to find the kill over onto Nusham. Sammy Boy's just going to walk away now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big heads up from Universe, and the fact that lifestealer ended up living throughout it, of course, makes it very worth it. As far as that trade goes, the first tier 3 tower going the way of Forward Gaming with how this game was starting to turn, and almost is a bit surprising, but they're not even done just yet. Morphling going back in on the Oracle.
Yeah, there's going to be the Soulbind coming out. Oh, they're able to pop the Aegis. Now Roya trying to run himself back, but again, the Soulbind going to connect over onto Brax as well. Sammy Boy back up and running, has his eyes over here onto the Lifestealer, but I don't think that he can fight through all of these heroes. In fact, they'll just nuke him down. Who are going to be able to get that kill. So, a bit of back and forth here.
With Forward definitely coming out ahead here. I think that TeamTeam needed to back off a little bit more, especially because Universe was going to rejoin right after that successful push on top. And most likely he's going to aim to take down the shrines next and make sure that they now properly constrict TeamTeam's area of the map that they can reach, because they have a lot of mobility over on that side. The Quap as well, the Darkseer can cut waves very efficiently, and you're going to want to be able to stop that in its tracks.
I think we're seeing a theme as well with when you think of how TeamTeam's won all of these fights that they've won, what's been the biggest factor is that Fiend's grip on Lifestealer.
Yes.
And again, in that exchange that we just saw right there, that was not off cooldown yet, I don't believe. So unless they have a Fiend's grip, they should really pick their fights a little more appropriately, because again, the Lifestealer is just going to have free reign when that is not up, of course. Yeah, nice TP out there from Quap. Close call.
You just watch you are running at her with the Inkswell, just like, oh, no, 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 no. And the double damage, of course.
BKB finished on Yoar. So speaking of that, and again, Rage itself is obviously great this game, but as we're pointing out, they still have a couple of ways. What's that? Is that the Manta?
Yes.
Your favorite. Manta Radiance. Here we go.
It's not a bad build. It's just I'm just traumatized, guys. Don't pay attention to me. It hurts. And that's actually something that I think I'm sure some players have as well. Well, that might be a little bit more of a sitting on the sidelines thing, but sometimes there's just this hero or this item combination that you see it and you're like, oh no, this game is going to be like not good for me. I'm having bad memories here. It often doesn't make any sense.
Okay, there we go. We get that Infest Bomb that we're talking about.
All right, let's go.
Let's see if they can make something happen. If they can get the jump on maybe a Bane, right? That'd probably feel pretty good right now, considering the lockdown that keeps throwing the face. Do have smoke on smoke action though coming out from TeamTeam, so they're going to also be combing through this area. Might be a little ships in the night sort of thing, right? Because I don't think they expect them to be in their own woods, because no one is showing right now.
There's our curving around right now.
Oh yeah?
Oh, if oh,
they already pop out.
That's a big one.
Okay. All right. They've got that Astral Spirit. They see everyone over here. It's going to be Brax jumping forward. The Soulbind does come out, followed by the Phantom's Embrace. There's going to be the Air Splitter place over on the middle of everything as they just focus down. They'll be able to find IX Mike. They take him down. They take down Brax. They're not going to have to worry about it this time around. Roya now trying to run himself back. Sammy Boy hanging out over here by the shrine. Will try to turn back in MSS and for a little bit of trouble. Roya going to be thrown up into the air here. They're going to turn back around. They get the kill over onto Roya. Now Sammy Boy might be in some trouble. Over there. They're going to be, Rezo chasing after IX Mike. This is going to be a dieback that's going to be taken down there. Nice Echo Stomp again coming out from Nusham. Sammy Boy fighting through, actually turning himself into the Lifestealer. And looks like Sven going to be kept around for just a little bit longer before he will pop Nusham trying to run himself away. And he's going to get rooted down over here onto this ground. And that's going to be another kill.
Yep, that's just unfortunate. In the heat of the moment, IX Mike thought he had a huge Fiend's grip. Unfortunately, it was on the illusion of the Lifestealer and goes back to the Manta-style Kips. That's
great item.
Another reason why that potentially could be a pretty big pickup. No, but you can't blame him there. Again, heat of the moment, the fight's going crazy like that, and he thought he had the right target. But ultimately, SVG as well on the Oracle, dear God, he is so fast at using that Fortune's End. He got jumped by the Darkseer, and immediately the Fortune's End came out and it allowed him to kind of react and kind of set the tone of the fight in the beginning too.
Normally you don't really want to be using that on yourself, but because he could use the Fortune's End there to save himself, it was also, he didn't actually have to retreat all that much, and the Quap wasn't able to cut the team in half as she did before. So they stayed focused. They got a great Grimstroke ultimate finally, double Stormhammer, double Silence.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
The solution just doing work over here on that ward. It's a way to.
So yeah, finally the synergy of forward gaming really coming to the fray, and Yoar's got the BKB right now, which makes him basically untouchable unless they want to use the Fiend's Grip, but that just means they're giving Resolution free reign.
Yeah, I think they got to save the Fiend's Grip for Lifestealer for sure. The correct one.
Yes, and it is only the Fiend's Grip right now, because with that Manta style he can purge off so many of the extra debuffs that they could be placing on him as well.
How about this build of Sven? Again, we're seeing so much of this support Sven, but back to more of this core role being the offlane play by Universe. He's beefing up some damage. He's got a Chrysalis, a Daedalus queued up still.
Radiant's top
He's going to be a threat himself.
Goes back to Yoar's decision for the Blink Dagger, I think, which makes him more mobile, more of this sort of tank as opposed to like the big damage dealer. All he has to do is stay alive, be this rallying point for his team, throw out the breathe fires.
One other thing about Sven as well, real quickly, is his level 15 talent. He actually got the Stormhammer dispels enemies in this game. And again, you think of Darkseer specifically, and why did they pick up Oracle? One of the main reasons was to purge that. And so now they have just another way on top of everything.
This is going to be a very fast Roshan.
Yeah, there's absolutely no vision coming out on the side of the Dire over on the side too, so they're probably thinking like, oh, they're probably going in for the Roche, but they are just more concerned about pushing out these waves for sure. So Roche is going to get taken, and it's going to be Rezo, of course, who picks up that Aegis.
Yes, that's one of the problems with dealing with a Radiance Manta Lifestealer, is that you don't have the control over that mid wave. That even though you, seriously, you would have the superior deep push normally on the side of
Team Team. It's making some damage here. It's a little headway.
So way more important is that he's doing damage to these creep waves as they spawn.
Yeah, that was the ultimate goal there. Just kind of silly. Attacking the tower as well.
I mean, you gotta have fun in these little ways while you can.
All right.
And what's also fun is that Yoar is just melting these buildings. Look at him go.
Yep, the Moon Shard. We saw this, well, somebody else got this the other day, early on a DK.
All right, there's going to be the signs being thrown out again over here onto Rezo. Doesn't seem to care so much. Has that rage up. Not going to be able to land the Echo Staff. They'll drop the wall. It's not doing a whole heck of a lot right now. Just trying to maybe buy a little bit more time. But Rezo just going to sidestep over here. Roya just throwing out those Shadow Daggers. It's going to be the purging off, as we said.
So many purges on the side of forward.
It's such a tidy siege too, right? They just get in, get out, and they're like, all right, that's great. Let's go focus on the next objective. So Dragon form up for a little bit longer.
And Crimson Guard's not going to be ready this time either. And that
the jump forward. They find themselves through. Can they burst them down fast enough? The Nightmare's going to come out. They'll follow up with a nice Grimstroke ulti, keeping them in place. They'll take out IX Mike, so there's no threat of that this time around. Sammy Boy now in for some trouble trying to run himself away. Brack's going to be focused down pretty heavily now. They've been able to chip him down. Yuara's going to be able to get the kill. And I don't know how they get in on this now. They don't have the Darkseer for 49. In fact, they jump right in over here on Newsham. They've had enough of these Echo Stomps. Anson's embraced the burn down. Rezo getting himself a kill. Newsham going to have to buy himself back. Heroic jumping back into the well. The silence is coming out again over onto Yuara. He doesn't care. He's just focused on these towers. All he does is hit with that sword right now. And this building's going to finally fall. Roya still trying to figure out anything that he can do, as is Sammy Boy, but they just don't have the damage. They can't get in there. Rezo is just a beast, and they jump forward again coming out from Yuara. If they can burn down Sammy Boy, that's it. He's out of here. Will not have the buyback. Phantom's Embrace getting used over onto Roya. Look at Universe. He's waiting so patiently.
GG.
The GG's going to get called. Forward Gaming take this in a 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, Team had very good glimpses there of they were outplaying Forward Gaming. So again, very deserved to be here. And of course, they're the team that represented North America on the minor, and now they can look forward to that. Unfortunately, getting eliminated here, but Forward Gaming, they move on, and they're going to be one series away now from qualifying back to the major themselves.
Yeah, and I think that you saw TeamTeam really taking advantage of what, well, I'm going to just call it like I see it there, kind of sloppy engagements, bit of a weird decision to keep going for that mid-tier 2, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that also means that Forward gets this sort of, you know, punch on the nose, like, hey, you know, you can't just do this. You still need to respect these people, which means that in the end, they clean it out pretty nicely, and like, as you said, the siege looked very solid. They just all got their items up, then pushed for the timings and held their positioning correctly, which is something that if the game would have been easier, maybe that last base defense would have been harder again, because you don't really expect any more resistance to come out, whereas now they were already like, all right, you know what, these guys fight back, let's do this. Let's do this neatly, finish it out, and I think, yeah, a very well-deserved victory for them in the end, but it could have been neater.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt like towards the end it was much more disciplined. They were like, all right, you know, we were kind of messing around a little bit too much, started maybe getting a little overconfident. That happens sometimes. But again, when they finally hit that point, they're like very, very efficient. They went for the buildings. They were very, you know, they said, all right, we took this over in mid, we're going to make our way over to the top, and just it all just kind of fell into place for them once they put their mind to it, so to speak.
And props to Universe, like especially the way that he split pushed out that top tower in the middle of the engagement. It's like that was a point where I thought like, all right, someone here has their eyes on the prize still, and that usually like shakes awake the rest of the team as well.
You know, I hear that would have been really good for TeamTeam, and obviously they wouldn't have known at the end, but Timbersaw would have been amazing in this game. It's all 3 cores, strength cores. We don't see that often, so and especially into the DK matchup. But again, it's no way they could have known it ended that way, and they picked DK in response of anything, the final pick. So yeah. But point is, Forward Gaming, again, moving on.
Speaking of points,
yes.
Points.
We get points.
High five, Moxie.
Like, yeah, I was on that page. I was there. And no points for production.
Points. No.
All right, so I believe we have another match coming up, which should be pretty hype.
Yeah. Should be a good one.
Are you ready, Breaky?
I think I'm ready here. There's so many good things about this series. While we're hyped, the storylines that we got, major spot on the line ultimately. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be the Flying Penguins versus Complexity, like Breaky's saying, the storylines. Yeah. The grudge match between Eternal Envy and Snake King.
There.
And, of course, fighting up against Complexity. But we will be taking a break now for a commercial, so sit tight, and we will see you soon.